What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back with another film breakdown. This time we're staking in the AFC West, taking a look at one of my favorite rookie quarterbacks this year. Obviously, everybody loves Joe Burrow. I'm a massive Joe Burrow fan. Somebody coming out of college that got a decent amount of flack, and I understand why, is Justin Herbert. And the reason being, I think, is, people have this weird trend of, Oregon quarterbacks can't make it in the league. And then they kind of stick with that. And even though the dude shows some really, really positive attributes in college, they tend to stick with that when he goes to the NFL. I always felt like there was something different about Justin Herbert, and if you ask me straight up, I don't 100% know why. Part of me says he really delivered, I think, in some of their bigger games, whether it was on the ground in the Rose Bowl or through the air. I think that this dude just has the intangibles. He has the ability to make every throw, and he's proven to be very intellectual this year in the NFL. Hopefully, I don't jinx anything, but I understand why he was getting some flack from people. He did have some big games that he didn't necessarily perform well in college, but I was really excited when the Chargers drafted him. I believe 6 overall. I think that they have a tremendous amount of talent offensively with Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler, and there's really a couple of things that they need to fix offensive line-wise, and I think that they're going to be a contender in the AFC West. So, just looking at his last game against the Atlanta Falcons, and, I wanted to break this down a little bit. Just a couple of stats really quick. I just looked them up personally, and I didn't know for, exactly what his stats were, but he's throwing 66% completion percentage on the air, which is pretty good for a rookie. 3,467 yards, 25 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions. And that's including a 3-interception game, I believe, against the Patriots a couple of weeks ago. He's done a really good job, and he's done an impressive job. And so I kind of wanted to dive in a little bit to this Falcons game that they won, and see kind of what they're doing to put him in a position to win. Because a lot of having a rookie quarterback is having good offensive coordinator, to go and give him easy reads, easy things to figure out, so that he can really hammer some footballs in there and make good throws. Now, before I dive in, I know there's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. If you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to my channel, the Hook Cam, as well as to Jackson Kruger Sports, that would mean the world to both of us. Now, getting into this Los Angeles Chargers, almost at San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers offense, what they're doing well. So with this play, all they're going to do is motion Eckler across the formation right here. This is really popular to do in the NFL these days, and really what it does, and you can see, is it's going to bump backers over. It's going to get guys working this way. Right now, a lot of the attention is focused on this side of the defense. Now, I know what you're saying. Okay, just because their attention's going this way and because there's a motion doesn't mean that everybody's going to be flying the ball. No, you're 100% right. That's not at all what's going to happen. But they really do a good job of manipulating, right? When we bump Eckler over, okay, now we're going to exchange responsibility. So now we have a corner who's going to be working on number one right here. But at the same time, they work this back out into the flat, and they're going to put guys in a pickle. And all you do with that, right? Okay, what are they running? We know by the fact that Eckler ran over here that they're going to be in some sort of zone, okay? Judging off that, and since there's, one guy high, it's probably going to be cover 3, which means that this safety is going to drop off. We're going to get this this corner is going to drop off, and we're going to get this safety working down into the flat, which is going to open up this window right here for this receiver to run that little spot concept. I believe that's Keenan Allen. Really, really simple stuff that a rookie Q can get, but it's translating stat-wise, and it's something that's really impressive that I noticed the Chargers have been doing, and they really just find other ways to do that, and in this play right here, they do a version of that, right? This is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be cover 1 out of the Falcons. We're going to push this thing vertically with this receiver, work into the flat with Eckler, and then just run this little spot route right here with Hunter Henry, and it's just easy stuff like that, man. Pick the guy who's open, okay? This defensive end's going to work with Eckler. Hunter Henry's a salty vet. He's going to be able to work this thing up and create that space that you need. Put the ball in him now, pick up a couple of yards. It's all you need. And I really think that they've worked their quick game into what Justin Herbert can do, and it's now become a point where it's in his wheelhouse. And to be honest with you, a lot of the NFL people want to trend towards that deep ball, right? You got to have the deep ball. You got to be able to have that quick strike. And I look at it in a different light. I see, guys like Rodgers and Brady who have built these careers off of being able to get their quick game going. And that's kind of what I see going on with Justin Herbert. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, but I am saying that if you can build that quick game and you can get this dude confident with that, it's going to open up a lot of stuff for you offensively. With this play right here, really simple concept on the play side, which is going to be at the bottom here. Just all we have is just 3 ends, right? A levels concept for some some of those of you who know. And with that, you read outside in. What I like about this is it looks like he's checking Hunter Henry to begin with his head, and then he comes back to this backside and rips it. Just a good play, and that's an intellectual play. It's not something that, Pro Football Focus or ESPN is going to be talking about, right? But we're looking here. Where's that safety at? He probably checked this pre-snap. They're going to be in 3, so we know that's not going to be open. And then we just work this thing inside out. Boom, we hit the open man. Since it's 3 and that corner's back, we're going to hammer that number 1 receiver coming in on that dig. This ball right here, by the way, this touchdown is just absolutely phenomenal. Stuff like this shows to me his ability to throw the football, and this is a really cool right off of their play action. Not necessarily the best protection. Anytime you got a tight end working on a defensive end, it's going to be trouble, but this is off his back foot, right? It is off his back foot, 20-25 yard throw that's right in the bucket. Just a really good ball, man. And stuff like this is that athleticism that we saw hints of at Oregon, but not all the time did it translate to big games. With Herbert, I think it's a matter of not getting caught up in the spotlight, right? Just get through, go through your reads, make the right decision every play, and a play like this is a great example, right? What we see with this is we have, again, Hunter Henry working that little spot concept. We've got our number 2 who's going to be working a bender into the middle of the field, and then we have curl on the backside. And what I really like about this from Herbert is that he goes through his reads. This is perfect. This is exactly what you want to see out of a young quarterback, and he eventually hits his check down right here. But you can see his head off the snap. Boom, we're looking at Hunter Henry. We're going to give that pump. It's going to bring defenders over here. He's not open. Reel it back in and hit your check down. Stuff like that not only prolongs his NFL career, but it's the right decision to make, and it's going to put him in the right position to win a lot of times. And to me, it's just impressive that he's doing the little things right like that. And then on top of it, he has these flashes in the pan of, excellent athleticism, really good job breaking the pocket, not making bad mistakes. Yes, he does have some times where he'll break the pocket and throw across his body. Stuff like that you can't do. Stuff like that you expect out of a rookie. You want to try and break those habits, absolutely. But right here, he's rolling to his right. He puts his ball on an absolute line, touchdown. I mean, stuff like that's really, really impressive stuff you love to see out of a young quarterback, and it's a foundation that you can build around if you're the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that there's going to be some turnover in their coaching staff. We'll see. But I think that with a guy like 10, with a guy like Justin Herbert, and with talent around him like Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, for however long those guys are going to be there, you're going to be able to put together a formidable offense. Now I think they need to really invest in their offensive line, which is why I'm really interested to see what they do in this year's draft. This next play is probably his best throw of the day. This is just a nice little shake route out of the bottom right here, stems this thing in and then working back out. Defense drops into cover 2, and this is a much more complicated read than it appears to be for a quarterback, right? You're kind of getting what almost looks to be like 1 high, so maybe you're thinking 3. I don't necessarily know. Probably not, because we got these 2 dudes down here. But at the same time, this is a really good throw. Good route at the bottom right, stem this thing inside, work up, and then come back out to the sideline. Best throw of the day for him. And this is in a crucial situation too. This is with them trying to drive down the field and kick a field goal to give his team the win. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Just a quick video on what I really like about Justin Herbert, what he's doing right, and how the Chargers are building around him. Not the best season out of them, but I really do think that the Chargers are building something special. And that AFC West is really becoming a powerhouse division. I think within the next 3 or 4 years, we're going to see the Chargers start to make some good moves, especially if they have, these early round draft picks, and you're keeping guys like Joey Bosa and Justin Herbert, and you can, Austin Eckler, I think they just signed to a big deal. Hunter Henry, I know they signed last season. If you can keep this talent around him, and you can get a coach who, is a dude that you can believe in and get behind and build around, I think the Chargers are going to be really scary, and it's going to be really fun watching the Chargers and the Chiefs clash for the next, 10 or so years. Hopefully the Chargers can kind of live up to that end of the deal. We all know Oakland is building their own wagon of a team out in Las Vegas. Oakland. We all know the Raiders are building their own wagon of a team out in Las Vegas. And then, of course, the Broncos have their own issues that we're all waiting to see how they figure it out. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you could hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to my channel, The Hook Cam, as well as the Jackson Kruger Sports. That would mean the world to both of us. That's all I got for you guys today. Make sure we're staying safe, washing those hands, and I'll see you next time.